We will begin the My Little Mermaid Sleep and Snuggle Sack in just a moment. Hi everyone, it's Mikey and I'm proud to introduce a brand new pattern series by Yarnspirations.com. It's called the Sleep and Snuggle Sack series. On screen now are other sleep sacks that are available in free pattern and tutorial format. Whimsical and delightful projects that will practically guarantee a warm smile from boys and girls. Super terrific for gift giving and much more. If you're wanting to try another sleep sack, then just click to play and I'll forward you directly to the next one. If you're wanting to do today's project, well, don't wait any further. Let's get started right now. Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as Yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Let's begin today's tutorial on working on this fabulous Mermaid Tail Sleep and Snuggle Sack by Yarnspirations.com. Today's tutorial is a comprehensive start to finish project. In fact, I'm working on it behind the scenes and between the filming takes so that I can show you what to do step by step. The fin of the mermaid tail concept is basically the making or breaking point of these types of projects. The designers have done a stellar job in providing the realism look through the execution of color, but also within the shaping of the fin. When we're crocheting it, you may think twice, but once you attach it to the main sack, the mystery is solved and your heart will go pitter-patter in excitement as you see it come together. This mermaid tail, minus the filming and preparation it took for me to accomplish this, is about 9 hours worth of work. This project can be done in just one day, but that's assuming you don't get distracted. On screen now is the anatomy of the mermaid's tail, and we'll return back to my chalkboard in between each lesson. There are 3 steps involved in making this mermaid tail. So without further ado, let's go and let's examine the pattern and let's start from there. So let's begin today's pattern. Let's just go through it really quickly, and it's a 2-page pattern, just really quite simple, and it's 4 balls of the Bernat Blanket Brights, and this is surf variegated. You can see the beautiful colors like so, and all of it is one color. The tinges of the colors are basically, it's the variegation coming out in the ball. So it's almost like the tube shape that we created for the shark, but we're not going to do continuous rounds like we did with the shark. So this one is going to go back and forth, and then we're going to sew up along the back seam and then when everything is ready. So we're just going to continue to grow this thing out, and then we're just going to get more and more tapered. So what we have to do is that this top area has to go for 24 inches before we start the decrease, and then we start decreasing and then we do the tail. Now the tail is 2 different sections. It's this side and that side sewn together. So today you're going to need an 8mm size L crochet hook today, 4 balls of the Bernat Blanket Brights surf variegated just like so, and you'll need a tape measure and maybe a pen to check things off, and that's all you'll need today. So let's begin to do row number 1. So before we get started, remember we're going to be doing the first section here first, and then we're going to start tapering, and then we'll do the tail. Not a very hard pattern. So we're just going to go back and forth in rows, and on the other side of this, which you can't see, it's just a seam line out through the back. So we're going to go through the rows and then get more and more narrow and then bring it together here at the bottom. So right now we're in the middle section, and we have to grow this length 24 inches before we can even start the tapering. So let's get started. Okay, so do you think you're ready? Well, let's begin, and we're going to create the main body that is 24 inches of the full length of the tail itself. So let's hook to it and let's start right now. So let's begin row number 1. We're going to start off with the slip knot. Remember that never counts as 1. So all we're just going to do is chain 82. So okay, so that doesn't count as 1. So just roll that hook back and pull it through. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And I need you to go to all the way to 82 for me, and look at the colors coming out. Isn't that fabulous? So let's go for all the way to 82 and meet me back here in just a moment. So let's begin row number 1. So we got our chain 82 are on there. So we want to look to underneath the hook. So 1, that's 1 stitch, 2 and 3. So go to the third one, which is the third, and turn it over and get the back loop only of the stitch. And what you're just going to do is you're going to do a half double crochet. So wrap that hook and going into the first into the back one of the third one, and then pull through, and then pull through all 3. That's a half double crochet like so. So now that you did the first one, the next back loop will be right sitting in front of you, and the next one and next one. Just look at it like a spine of a reptile, and just wrap the hook and going into the next one. You should only ever go into 1 strand at this point in this chain, and what this will do is it'll give you the most perfect edge look on the other side. So when your child's using it, or you're trying to squeeze yourself into it, you're gonna have a perfect edge right at the top, and it's a really kind of a neat idea. So just look for that back loop only as you go through the chain, and I want you to half double crochet. Just take your time. This one is always the hardest part of any project, of starting on a chain, but once you get beyond this, it becomes really easy from this point forward. So just half double crochet all the way down the chain. So now coming up to the end, and the last one is a half double crochet, of course. So now you have the most perfect edge that you can see, and now we're gonna turn and work and go for row number 2. I'm gonna show you a little bit of technique here. When it comes to double crochet, when we chained up 3, for example, if we chain up 3, that is counting as a double crochet, and then we go into the next one, which is right here. Because it's half double crochet, I'm just gonna back out 1, you only chain up 2. But with half double crochet, this first chaining up 2 does not count as a stitch like it would with double crochet. So your first one is right here instead of the next one over. So we're just gonna wrap the hook and going in and double crochet. So you gotta remember that. So on the ends, it appears that there's 2 stitches here, but in actual fact they're just working together as one. And that's where a lot of people go wrong with these things. So all you're just gonna do is just half double crochet yourself back and forth on this until you get to 24 inches in distance from the bottom of this edge to the top of this edge that we're working on. So you just gotta keep on going and going and going. It may take you a few hours to do it, but this is really mostly the hardest part of this particular pattern for time. It's not hard as in stitches are hard. It's just this is where a lot of the time is sucked up into here, because when we get to the tail area we start decreasing as stitches and then it gets quicker. So just half double crochet yourself to the end. I do want to just reiterate the whole idea of half double crochets on the edges so that you don't accidentally grow too many. So continue to half double crochet all the way down. So I'm coming up all the way to the end, and I have a total of 2 stitches left, okay, to keep this in balance. So it goes right into the end just like you see. So now we're just gonna turn our work, okay, and just continue to go back. So chain 2 does not count as anything. Go right up underneath that one for a half double crochet, and then all the way across. Now I'm gonna do all the way across, and then I'm gonna meet you back one more time, because next time we get there is that chaining of 2 and the half double crochet in the first one. I do want to show you so that you can identify it, because this one that I just finished was still working on the first row, which didn't have it there for me to show you. So let me get to the edge of the other side and I'll show you what to look for. So I'm coming up near the end of the row, and I want you to look at it. So you got these 2 here that are appearing to come out of 1, okay, which they are, and then these 2. So how many stitches do you got left? You got 1, 2, and 3. So you got to watch this one here, that you don't think there's 4 here, because the chain 2 counts as nothing, okay. It's just more of a builder than anything. So 1, 2, and 3 is your final. Now if you accidentally add more stitches here, you will add more stitches to your project. So make sure you go right into the, let me just get a better angle of that. So make sure you go right into it, and do not think that there's 4 at the end, because what's gonna happen is that it's gonna misalign. So you're just gonna turn your work, chain 2, which does not count as anything again, and then right down into the same one right underneath, and then just half double crochet across. So that's what you have to do. You have to identify that one right in the edge, or you're gonna be in trouble for adding stitches, and if you stop too early, then obviously you miss stitches. But you see, it's still a nice flat edge. So you just gotta put some trust in that, and I want you to get from 24 inches now from here all the way to the top of this, and I'll meet you back there, and we'll continue then to progress on our My Little Mermaid Crochet Sleep and Snuggle Sack. We'll see you again in just a few moments, which will be a few hours for me in real time. We'll see you. Bye. So welcome back. I'm now 5 hours into my project, and this is what I've gotten so far, and I have my 80 stitches across, and I have my 24 inches in the depth. So remember, at the end of this project, as we get this cocoon done, we're going to be folding over the outside edges just like this, and we're going to be doing a sewing line all the way down. So we're gonna do that, so just don't forget we're gonna be doing that at the end. So let me just take you back to where I want to start, because now we're gonna start doing the decreasing as we work our way closer to the tail. Fabulous. Now let's move on to do the shaping of the tail by doing incremental decreases all the way to the bottom. We will finish this with step-by-step instructions with sewing the back seam and across the bottom. What are you waiting for? Let's go. So here we are, and we need to have 80 half double crochets across. You cannot have any more than that because all the decreasing is gonna work in the sense of aligning with each other. So for example, say you had 81 here and you were meant to have 80. Do not frog all of this. Don't be silly. So what you just want to do is that on the very final, if you wanted to eliminate a stitch out, and if you had like maybe had 84, what I would do is incrementally just put two together just randomly down the line. The next one we're gonna start decreasing anyway, so it's just gonna look like it's gonna naturally blend. So we're gonna half double crochet two together. The final two, say you want to eliminate a stitch, so you just put the final two together like this. So there's one, and you don't finish that off, yarn over, go into the last one, yarn over. You will have 5 loops on your hook, pull through all 5 or loops, and therefore these two just became one. So this would be then taking it from 81 stitches back down to 80. So that's how you would do it. Now for example, say you had 78 instead of 80, randomly through it here, maybe around here and maybe around here, I would put 2 half double crochets into the same one, and therefore that will make it expand and it will be pretty well invisible as well. This yarn is really quite forgiving for that. So it's imperative that you get yourself to 80 in order before you move on to the process of finishing off the next part with the decrease. So it really does work on that number of 80, and that's what you need to look for. Let's begin and start decreasing our work. So let's begin the decreasing, and what we're going to do is that we're going to chain up 2. Okay, remember that doesn't count as anything. And in the first 8, so we come right directly underneath the first 8, we are going to half double crochet. So let's do that. So we're going to do 1 and coming into the next one for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So now you have 8 in a row, and now the next 2 are gonna be together. It's kinda like I just showed. So you wrap the hook going into the next one, pull through and hold it on your hook. Okay, so you got 3 loops there, yarn over again, going into the very next one, pull through, and now you have 5 loops, pull through all of those like that, and those 2 just became 1. So you want to continue to do that same pattern going all the way across. So the next 8 are gonna be by itself. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Okay, and then you just simply just put the next 2 together. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, go into the next one, pull through, 5 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 5, and those 2 just became 1. So that's what I want you to do for this one here, and this is doing the first row of the decrease, and this is gonna lead to the tail. So please do that, and I'll meet you at the end of this row. So I'm coming up to the final, and I'm just did the 2 together, and now I'm doing my final 8. So 1, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, and look at that, I got 2 more stitches left. Okay, so there is 2 left, and so those 2 come together. Okay, so that is how you're gonna end this row with the final 2 being together. So let's turn our work and let's begin and look back at the instructions, and we're gonna continue. So turning our work once again, and now for the next row and 4 others, so 5 rows in a row, it's simply going to be chaining up 2 and 1 half double crochet into each. So the incremental, and this is like the shark that we worked on earlier, is that this is going to taper in nice and slowly. So when I look at it here, I have a diagram that I did. It's pretty rough. So what we're doing here is that we're gonna taper in. So we're gonna taper. Okay, so we've just done a little bit of taper, and then we're gonna do half double crochets. The half double crochets are naturally going to want to taper in like this. Okay, so it's literally gonna do it. So even though we're stopping to do the decrease at this moment, it still will taper in. It takes time to have tapers. So we're gonna do 5 rows in a row, and then we're gonna do another decrease, and then we're gonna do more just regular across, and then another decrease, and we're gonna make our way all the way down to the tail with that same principle. Okay, so this is a really kind of an easy pattern. So really the decreasing is incremental, it's not really severe. So for 5 rows in a row we want to do the half double crochet in each of the stitches going across. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna leave that with you. So I want you to do 5 rows of just half double crochet. Just write it down as you go to make sure that you actually do it, and then we're gonna meet back here and we're gonna do another decreasing row after that. So do 5 half double crochets in a row, and I'll see you back here in just a moment. So welcome back. I've just finished 5 rows of just regular half double crochet, and right here is where I was when I did the together decrease and then 5 rows. 1 2 3 4 and 5. You will notice on the outside here is that, do you see it's flat, and now it's just a slightly tapering in. This does not like taper in like drastically, so it does a nice streamline kind of look, because that's kind of how mermaids are projected. So right now we're ready to move on again. We're gonna do another decrease which is gonna continue this taper further in. Let's begin to do that next. So moving along, we're going to chain 2, which doesn't count as anything if you remember, and simply we are going to do the first 7. Remember, come into that first one, don't forget those, and you're gonna do that one plus 6 more. So it's gonna be a total of 7 half double crochets in a row. So this is 2, this is 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So once you get 7 in a row done, the next 2 become together. So just wrap the hook going into the next one, pull through, wrap the hook going into the next one after that, pull through, 5 loops on the hook, yarn over, and pull through all 5 loops. So continue that same patterning going all the way around, or all the way across. You're gonna 5 half double crochets by itself, and then the next 2 are together. Continue to do that. So the last time we were down here it was 8. So we're gonna notice that we're gonna progressively get less and less stitches between where it does the 2 together. Please do that for this entire row, and I'll see you at the end of this row. So I'm coming up to the end. This is 2 together, and the last ones are gonna be here. So 1 2 3 4 5 it's gonna be 6 and 7. So now the final 2 stitches are going to be together. So if this is not your final 2 to put them together, then you know something's wrong. So just wrap the hook going in, wrap the hook going into the final stitch. Okay. Oops, see, I went into a gap. I don't want to do that. I want to go into a chain and then pull through all 5 loops. So that finishes. But what I did notice as I was coming across, look, it's starting to taper in. So if you just match it, you can see right on the edge here. See how it was out? Now it's starting to come in. So for the next 5 rows, again, you're just gonna do 1 half double crochet into each. So chaining up 2, and then just continue to half double crochet all the way across for 5 more rows. Please do that, and then I'll meet you up again, and then we'll start another decrease. So 5 rows, half double crochet, back and forth. So now I'm back, and I've done another 5 rows of just regular half double crochet, and if you look at again at the edge, it's now starting to sweep around and really being amazing. So if you really kind of fold it up on each other, you will notice that it really is kind of tapering in. Let's move along, and we're going to do a decrease row once again, chaining up 2, and this time it's going to be 6 half double crochets in a row, and then we're going to do a decrease. So 1 and 2, 3, I sound like a aerobic workout. 4, this is my exercise. 5 and 6, and then we're gonna do 2 together. So the next 2, just put them together with the half double crochet together. Continue that same idea all the way across. So 6 in a row, then 2 together, 6 in a row, and I'll see at the end. You will notice that this is getting shorter and shorter in distance, and you're speeding up. I know I am, so that's a great sign. So continue to go all the way across the row. So I'm coming up to the other side, and I just did my 2 together, and we're going to do another 6. So 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. Now there's 2 stitches left, and of course those are going to be together. So just put those 2 together with the half double crochet together, decrease, and put those there. So again, the next 5 rows again are just gonna be half double crochets. This actually is getting much shorter, the distance, so I'm really starting to enjoy the project even more. You know, when you get closer to the end you start feeling really good. So half double crochet in each stitch going all the way across for another 5 rows. So here we have a long view and it's extending quite far. You can see the bend of the taper that we're currently making, and then you see it flattens out and goes straight. So the upper part is where we started, and now we're here and we're continuing to work along. Let's move along to the next part. We're gonna do another decrease next. So another 5 rows are complete and we're ready for another decrease. So this time, last time we did 6 in a row, then a decrease. This time it's gonna be 5. So let's chain up 2, and the first 5 will be 1 half double crochet each. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then the next 2 are together. So just going into the next, pull through, wrap, and go into the next. After that, pull through. You get 5 loops, pull through all of it. Continue to do the same thing, 5 half double crochets in a row, and then 2 together. I'll see you at the end of this row. I'm coming up to the end of that same row, and there's gonna be 5 in a row. So the last one was 2 together. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we're gonna have 2 stitches left after this, and those are the ones that are coming together. So let's bring these last 2 together, and that concludes this row. So what I need you to do then is turn your work, and we're gonna do another 5 half double crochets rows, and it's gonna be amazing. So continue to do that. Turn your work, chain up 2, and put in half double crochets for 5 rows straight. And I'll see you back here, and we'll probably do another decrease next. So my 5 half double crochets are now complete, and we're ready for another decrease. So what we're going to do then is then chain up 2. This is the final time we'll be doing a decrease on this part of the body, and the first 4 will be by themselves. So half double crochet the first 4. So we got 1 and 2, 3, and 4. So the next 2 are together. So please do this same patterning. You've got it. You know what you're doing all the way across. So another 4 in a row, and then 2 together. I'll see you at the end of this row, and it's not a very long row, so it's gonna go nice and quick too. So I'm coming up to the end of this row. This is a 2 together. Then let's finish up. So we got 1, 2, it's like before. The last 2 are gonna be together. This is 3 and 4. So you got 2 stitches left, put those together, and what we need to do then is that finish this row, and then we only have 5 more rows left to do on this whole main body section. So turn your work once again, and 5 more rows of just half double crochet into each, and then we're gonna fasten off, but wait for me before you do that, and I'm gonna show you what to do then with the assembly. We're going to then put a seam in, and then I'm gonna show you how to close off the tail so that it stays in balance, so that you can keep the sewing line underneath of the project. So continue to half double crochet 5 rows in a row, and meet me back here in just a moment. So I'm now completely done this whole main area here. It's one big flat piece, but eventually we have to fold one side over the other and create a seam line right up through the middle. What I'm gonna do right now is that I'm gonna show you what to do here on the edge. I have not fastened off yet. I'm gonna show you a technique that I use to fasten off so that you never see your tail ends. So this is currently what it looks like, and we're gonna be ready for the tails shortly, but we gotta do our seams first. So let me show you how to do the weaving of the ends off. So I'm completely done. I'm just gonna cut a string, maybe about 12 inches, and I'm just gonna pull it through this loop, and that locks it. Okay, so I'm not quite done yet. Because this is thick yarn, we want to feed this onto a darning needle, and we do this with this particular kind of yarn and project all the time. We did it on the shark earlier, and now we're gonna do it here. So we're just gonna feed it onto a darning needle, taking the seam, and I want you to just glide the needle up underneath the stitches, catching into the fibers, and poke it back out maybe about an inch or so. Do not come out to the finish line on the outside, just stay underneath it, and you want to go back and forth 3 times. So this is 1. Okay, so when you do to pull it, don't go crazy and pull it too much. Go in a different path. Okay, but like in a different path, so go back in the other direction. If you go in the exact same path, it'll fall out. So you just want it to capture around some different fibers. So this is 2, and then coming back in again and through a different area and pulling out the other side. Just use your fingers to kind of feel around, but don't stab yourself. And that's 3. So now this is permanently in, and now I can just safely cut that right down and I never have to worry about it. Okay, so this is how I would do the seam lines whenever I'm trying to use my yarn in order to hide the loose ends. So you really kind of never see exactly where it is in the end. So let's continue and let's start talking about seams next. So my project's laid out on the table like this. The taper is towards me, the other side is on the upper side. It doesn't matter if I start up here or down here, it doesn't matter. So what I want to do is that I want to take these sides and I want to flip them so that they appear. So let me just back off the camera right now and let me show you exactly what to do. So you're just gonna turn this in, okay, and you're gonna turn this one in, and you're going to start down here at the bottom. Now you notice that it's in the middle. That doesn't really matter right now. It will matter when we go to sew the tail onto it, that what we're gonna do for the bottom. So what I just want to do is that I want to do this all the way up to the top. Now this is 43 inches approximately from here all the way to the top. You will probably need maybe about 3, possibly 4 different yarn strands to go that much space. If your darning needle yarn is too big, then it becomes a real pain. So what I'm gonna show you now is that I'm gonna show you how to do the seam all the way up, and we're just gonna follow it. And this is gonna be the inside of what you're looking at, is the inside of the project. So after we've done the seam, we're gonna flip it and the other way will be the outside. So you have to decide if you like this side better. There should be really no difference to it, but if you like one side better than the other, just flip it so that the one in the inside will be the one that you see when the child is wearing it. So let's continue. Let me show you how to put these seams together. So let's begin to do the seam line all the way up. It doesn't matter if it's out here or here, as long as it's just so you can access it. Where it appears right now in the cocoon area doesn't matter until we sew down the tail. So so what I'm saying to you is that even though I'm looking at it straight down the middle, it doesn't really matter at this particular moment where you're sewing it. You're just sewing that seam. So let's create a slip knot on the other side of the string. I'm going to show you how to put this on. I'm gonna go up a little bit and then I'm gonna show you how to fasten it off and then join another string. So what you're looking at here is that you want to match the rows. Okay, this is take number 2. I got a partial way up and I started going a little bit offset like this, and then what's gonna happen by the time I go to 43 inches at the top, I'm gonna end up with the top looking like this. Okay, so what I want to do is that I want to make sure that I'm looking visually where these rows are joining, and that's what my cue is to keep myself on track. So I want to insert the needle always into part of the chain, never go into a space like where my finger can go through. So when you go in, I could go in the space here, but then it's gonna look really awkward. So you want to go into like a chain area only, okay, and then a chain area on the other side, matching the rows together. And so you want to pull through, and right where I did the slip knot on the other side, I want to insert my needle into that, and it's gonna lock it into position, and we're gonna use a darning needle to hide this last string at the end. So I'm just gonna pull it nice and tight. So you can see that the rows are matching each other. So this is a whip stitch, so you just jump on one side to the other, again going into chains, not into spaces. Okay, and what I want to do is just look up and just see where the next chains are. Just use your fingers, use your visual cues. I would almost consider doing one join across each row as I go up. This is gonna be the inside of the project that we're looking at, so any imperfections that you do can almost be hidden in this particular row because we have to flip this to the other side. This is the inside of the project at this moment that you're looking at. So when you go to pull snug, don't go and pull it to the point where this starts to buckle upward. You want to keep it firm but never crazy tight. So let's just continue to move up, and I will stop when I get enough of this my string used, and then I'll show you how to weave in your ends to continue. Okay, so I'm running out of string, and so now I haven't got all the way to the top obviously. So what I'm gonna do right at this point is that I'm gonna tie it so that it does a knot here, So just feed it through so it ties it into like a knot, and I would do that twice. And what I'm gonna do, you don't want loose strings inside this because chances are your child's gonna crawl in just for fun. And so you want to slide it in the fibers on this side of the work. Okay, so on this side that you're looking at, you're gonna go in one, you're gonna go in a different path just like I showed you before, 2, and back in through a different path for 3. So back and forth 3 times, and then you can just fasten off. So all you just need to do is restart another strand of yarn once again right where it's here, and continue to go your way to the top. I actually think I'm only gonna need 2 strands, so I did 4 feet of yarn the first time, so I'm gonna do probably another 4 feet this time, and I will get all the way to the top. Once you're all the way to the top, just finish it exactly the way I just showed you here, and you should be good to go. And then we're gonna head back to the bottom of the tail area, and we're gonna start working on that next. Okay, so I'm back. The seam is all the way up to the top. I'm actually really quite happy with it. It looks great. This is still the inside of the cocoon area, so we're gonna be flipping this to the other side once we get this tail area done. So what I want you to do is I want you to fold the tail in half. Okay, so you see it, just fold it directly in half. Let's grab some more yarn for your sewing, and we want to sew along the bottom, but let me tell you something before you do that. So what we need to do is that this seam line needs to be directly in the middle. Okay, so you don't need to ruler it, you can just eye it up, and what we want to do is that we want to sew this whole area together at the bottom, and the tail is going to attach at this particular spot as well. So creating a slip knot just like I showed you before, and just feeding in your darning needle onto the other side. Okay, so what you want to just do is just right in the end where it's kind of folded over, just go directly across right into the stitch work, and just pull through and put the needle through the slip knot to lock it. Now this is a little trick. You can just lay this down over top, and then what's happened is that you advance to the next stitch that's in both sides, and just go directly across from each other. And when you lay this down over top, what's gonna happen is it's gonna come back over top and lock it into position. So again, just advancing one more stitch in both sides, and just advance all the way over. So you just wanna whip stitch yourself all the way across. I've already shown you how to whip stitch, so it's just back and over top. And then remember, don't go too crazy with the tightness of it. You just wanna make sure it's snug but not compressed, so that you don't distort it in any way. So see, you can see I'm getting that stuck underneath, so I don't need to weave that in later. It's right underneath the stitch work, and this is gonna be the inside of the cocoon anyway. So continuing to do that, when you get to the end, just fasten off, just hide in the yarn ends like I showed you before, of just going back and forth 3 times, and you should be good to go. And this one is really easy. So this is gonna be the final conclusion of this. Make sure that you turn this inside. You're looking at the inside right now, just flip it the other way so that you're looking at the good side. So if the child is wearing it, you can see it with the side he's on or she's on. So continue to do that, and when we come back, then we'll start and work on the tail area next. Perfect. Now you're ready to continue on, and now we're ready to do the fun stuff that will get the kids all excited. So let's do the tail together. I've taken my time in this particular section to show you the horizontal bar section of a stitch and extra tips. We will finish this section by joining the 2 fins together to create one tail, and let's get going. So let's ready, set, and hook. So let's move on to the tail. We have the cocoon done. It's been already has the seam. It's done on both sides. Now it's time for the tail. So the tail consists of 2 different panels that are sewn together at the small area here, and what you're looking at here is that you will see that the shaping looks different on the model, and there's a reason for that, which I'll explain. So what we need to do is that we need to do 2 of these, and I have my stitch markers up because I'm going to teach you some techniques in order to keep counts on this particular item, and I think that you'll be very successful with this at the same time. So let's go over the pattern. So you see that the tail looks all nice and ruffled up. It looks really quite authentic. The tail on a mermaid item like this will make or break the project. So this looks really realistic. I think the fans are gonna love it, and I think it's really not hard to maintain. And so you're gonna notice it looks really ruffled, but then this one doesn't here on what we have. So what's gonna happen is that we're gonna do two pieces, one side and then the other. I've already done one just to practice, and so I'm just gonna do the other. So what's gonna happen is it's gonna look like this. And at the top here, once they are both are done, we're gonna sew right here. So there will be an addition on this side, but you will notice that the distance of here to the top of this item here is like big time difference. So what's gonna happen is that we're gonna put both pieces together and we are going to crinkle up the top area up here, and this has like ribbing effects going on, and so we're going to just, when we do it, just kind of do it like this, and it's gonna cause this to kind of bend and really kind of have some really unique features at the bottom. So both of the panels literally have to fit within the top of this area here. So the other one will go over here. So this is what we're gonna be concentrating on today. So you're gonna notice that we have some ribbing effect on both sides, okay? And this is not as hard. I have some stitch markers in to help keep count, but how did I do this? And this is a really unique technique, and I've done a little mini sample in another color to show you where you need to look for in order to create the ribbing effect. So let's do that first, and then we're gonna come and start this next. So here in the pattern we have what is a note here of where we're to go, and we're to play within the horizontal bars that we're gonna go into. So when we go to look at stitches over here, is that we always have the typical look across the top. So we always have our our strings on top which make a stitch, just like you see right there and there. But what we're going to do with this particular one is that when we turn it around, we are going to look for the horizontal bar. So the one on top here, okay, that you see right here, if you just turn it, you'll see that it's the regular stitch. So we want to play within the secondary one right here. This is the horizontal bar. Okay, now when you're going to do this with the variegated yarn, this is not so easy to tell, so you just got to get your eyes just used to here where you're looking, because you can see it in the variegated yarn. It's just not as obvious. And where did we finish out there? So when we go here, where do we see it? Here. It's different colors because it's variegated, but it's right here, right? Do you see it? Okay, so that's where we're gonna be playing. When you do that, what's gonna happen is it's gonna make the other side have a ribbing effect just like this. Okay, and what it's gonna do is it's gonna allow the material to bend and shape by doing so. And you know, technically, like fins of any kind of fish anyway already have ribs, so this is a kind of an easy way to do it. However, this is a really easy way to screw up too, and this is actually my second time that I had to try this because I totally screwed up the first time, and I want to show you some techniques which I think will help you in the end as well. So you'll notice in the pattern, and I will teach how to look at this, is that whenever we head to the outside of the tail all the way to the bottom of the tail where you see it dangling, that is always going to be a half double crochet on the horizontal bar. When we go back in the other direction, it's always going to be a double crochet in the horizontal bar. So we go out and half double crochet and we come back with double crochet. So let's continue, and let me show you what to do. So we're gonna start off and we're gonna chain 2, which counts as a half double crochet. Now technically what we normally do is come into the very first stitch, but in this particular case we don't. We have to look for the horizontal bar here. So what we have to look for is this piece right here. Do you see it? Okay, so the top, if I stick my pencil all the way through, is your stitches, your normal stitches, but if you look just below it, that's the horizontal bar. So let's go out and do a half double crochet on the horizontal bar. So wrap the hook coming in, and just use your kind of thumb to kind of force things onto your hook if you have to, and coming in and just secure the horizontal bar with a half double crochet, and this is instantly going to create the ribbing effect on the other side. So the first one's in, so look for the next one. Do you see it? It's right in front of you. So what I did, I actually did the tail and I had to frog the whole thing, and then I tried again and I still screwed up. So what I was doing is that sometimes I was grabbing the strands that are like leaning down like this, or I was going for this one up here. You see that? So what I want to do is look for the obvious one. I was making it harder for myself, I don't know why, and because of that I was throwing off my counts, and therefore I ended up with more stitches than I was supposed to be decreasing. So you just move along on the horizontal bar when you're moving on to the outside of the fin. Okay, so what's gonna happen is that once you get close to the outside of the fin, the very bottom, is that you're going to stop 3 stitches short in order to create the look of the fin. So just look here, 1, 2, 3. So you're gonna put right here. So if you were to do a stitch marker right in that spot, it would really greatly help you. So let's do a stitch marker there. So 1, 2, 3, and I'm gonna put a stitch marker in the 4th one. Okay. Also, what helps me as well is to keep count of the stitches, and we'll talk about that when we get there. So this is kind of a really unique way to do things. It's kind of a little complicated, but I will tell you that, as I mentioned already, is that the tail of any kind of mermaid thing like this will make or break the project. People will either be convinced by the tail, or they will say the tail looks cheap. So this one, I think the tail is actually pretty realistic, and I think it's amazing. So I'm about to hit the stitch marker, so this is the last one that I'm about to stop at. Okay, so we stop there, and it creates that look of what you see within the pattern of kind of the jetting in and out. So let's turn our work and do the next row going in the back in the other direction. So whenever you turn your work and you head back toward the bottom of the tail where it attaches to the main project, is that you are going to just always chain 2. That counts as one of the stitches. So this one here, the rails look slightly different. The horizontal bar looks slightly different when versus crochet and double crochet. So here this is double crochet, so it looks slightly different, and this here is half double crochet. So you'll see it kind of like leans down a little bit, and so you got to watch that. So we're just gonna immediately jump to the first one. We're gonna skip this one. Just jump to the first one, and we are always going to double crochet ourselves back to the top of the tail where it joins to the main body. So going down to the bottom right to the end of the fins is going to be half double crochet down, and then on the way back up we are going to do double crochet on the horizontal bar moving back toward the body. Again, it makes a big difference to count, and I will talk about that when we get to the pattern. But this is how you would do this kind of stitch. It's not hard. It took me a little bit of practice. Now this last one is always hard to get into, so you see here, it's just right there. You just gotta kind of manipulate things a little bit. I don't want to have any denial here in the video. Not everything is easy peasy. And so then we come into the very final turning chain. So don't go into a gap, go into a turning chain as your final. Okay, so now you look at it here, it's like, well, where's the ribbing? Here, it's on the other side. See that? So the ribbing is every other one depending on what side that you're looking at. So let's go back to the pattern and let's start reviewing, and let's see if you can manage to do this one. So here's the pattern once again, and we are gonna make 2 tails alike. We're gonna chain 38 to start, and then we're going to do some half double crochet across the chain, and then we're gonna start this work. So it's gonna be repeating rows 2 and 3 several times. So row number 2 is heading toward the outside of the fin, so all the way down to the bottom, and row 3 heads back to the join. So it's always gonna be half double crochet coming out, and then double crochet coming back in toward the tail, and it's always going to be in the horizontal bars. So once we get this done, it says repeat this until you get a total of what was it, 21 stitches remaining. So every time you go out, okay, you are going to subtract 3 stitches off the very end and then come back. Okay, so then when you go to repeat it again, you're going to subtract another 3. So what we had here is that we had 36 half double crochet, but when we went back out we left a 3 remaining, so there's only 33. So then we come back into the top, so you have 33. We're gonna come back out again, and this time will only be 30 because we'll stop 3 short and then come back for 30. We come back out for 27 only, and then go back in for 27, back out for 24, back in for 24, out for 21, and then back in. It's important that you count. So what you're gonna notice here on the pattern when I go to look at it is that it naturally wants to do a kind of like a bending shape like this. Do you see? Oh, let me just zoom this out. And what you want to notice here is that it naturally wants to make this curve that it has. That's what the neat thing about it. So we're gonna do one side, and then we're gonna do the other, sew it up here, and then we're gonna start bunching at the top and then sew it to the main body to give the exact look that you see really quite here. So let's give this a try and see if you can manage this one. And this is not hard. I think this is what is going to make or break your project. So let's begin. So let's begin with this slip knot. Okay, so it says that we need to chain 38. So let's do so. So I left a little bit extra so I use that to hide it in. I'm also going to use a stitch marker. It's just white yarn, just leftover yarn, doesn't matter the color. So remember, we're just going to chain 38. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Go all the way to 38 for me, and meet me back here in just a moment. So I have my 38 completed just like you see here. So what I want to do is go 4th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, go to the 4th, turn it around, get the back loop only of that, and just half double crochet. So now that you have it turned over, the rest of it is gonna stay turned over. So this first one counts as a half double crochet, and so does this one, for counting. So you're just gonna move across your chain and just half double crochet in the back loop only. Once you do the first one, the chain stays turned over, which makes it nice and easy. So by the time you get all the way back across, you're going to notice that there's going to be 36 half double crochets, which includes this one right here, the beginning. So please just half double crochet all the way across your chain. So I have my 36 on here. Do double check. Okay, just pull them apart and just make sure that you have 36 half double crochets. It makes a difference. You're doing 2 of them, you want them to match. Turn your work and just hold on here, and what we're going to do is that we're going to place a stitch marker. So this time on the way out, remember this is the end of the fin now. This is this side here where we are is the top where it joins to the bottom of the cocoon. Okay, so what we want to do is that we want to come back out but stop on the 4th one. So we want to leave 3 stitches unmarked. So the first one is 1, 2, 3, and go to the 4th. Grab that stitch marker, and I want you to pull that through to give you a visual aid on where to stop. Now because you're not playing in the top of the stitches, because you're gonna do the horizontal bar, you gotta just use this as a visual. As I mentioned before, I did make a mistake in the first time through, is that I wasn't counting. I honestly recommend that you need to count. You physically need to count as you go. So what I'm gonna do is that we're gonna start out. So we're gonna start out, and this time that we're only gonna have 33 stitches instead of 36 because we have to stop early. So let's begin, and on the way out, always to the end of the tail, end. We're always gonna stop 3 stitches short, and it's always gonna be a half double crochet. So chain 2 and jump to the next one. Now I already showed you how to do the horizontal bar, so look for it. So do you see it? It's right there. Okay, once you do the first one, you'll see them all start to pop. Your eyes just automatically go to it. So just here's the first one, and we need to count all the way across, and this time it's only going to be 33. So we're just gonna half double crochet the 1. So remember this first one counts as 1, so now you're officially at 2. So then you go along 3, keep going with the horizontal bar, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm making this look easy. Remember, I have had practice. Okay, I did the other one already, so I'm making it look easier. So 6 and 7. Let me turn it around so you see that the back rib is starting to happen. So I'm on number 7 at this moment. And 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm not going to count all these rows, just so you know. So that was 11, and this 12, 13, 14, 15, this is 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 is next, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Just get some more yarn. That was 31, 32, and 33. So here it is there. So just let your counting be accurate. Okay, so let that just work out. So that was 33 across. If you're not sure, just count again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Oh, I'm one short. So there you go. There's the stitch marker there. I must have lost count at some point. So it is at 33 now. So this is where I went wrong the first time, is that I never counted. And because I did that, and I would have done it again this time around, it's important that you count. Let's turn our work and go for the next row. So these are the 2 repeat rows. So every time now, this is the end of the fin, this is where it joins, you're always stopping 3 short. So when you come back to the top where it joins, it's always going to be chain 2, move to the next stitch, horizontal bar, and it's always going to be double crochet back up. Now you've already eliminated your 3 out, so it will again be 33 for a second time. So you will have noticed on my notes that it's always down and back with the same number of stitches. So it's 3, 4, this is 5, 6, so 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, this is 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, next one here. Remember I said that in the sample it's always harder to see this one. This is 31, this will be 32, and remember we were looking for 33, so just take your time getting that one out. When you're operating this big yarn, sometimes these hooks are too blunt. That was 32, and then finally in the turning chain for 33. So you can see that we went 33 out, we stopped 3 early, and then 33 back out. So we're gonna turn our work, and now you need to continue to repeat. So again, what I would do to prepare is that count 1, 2, 3, go to the 4th stitch, move that stitch marker, so just get that stitch marker that you had and pull through there. That'll give you the visual cue that you need. Okay, it's perfect. And then what I want to do then is restart again. So this time instead of 33 down, I want to stop early, so this time it's going to be 30. So you go down for 30 on the horizontal bar for half double crochet, come back for 30. Then you're going to go down again and you'll eliminate another 3, so it'll be 27, and then 27 back up. You'll go down again for 24 because you're going to eliminate 3, and then back up, and then you're going to go back down again for 21, and then back up. So what I want you to do is continue to do this so that you end up with the right number of stitches at the end. And then what we're gonna do is that we're gonna come back and then we're gonna sew everything together. So I think I'm just gonna stick with you with one more down and back just to make sure that you've got this under your belt. Okay, so let's begin going back down. We've already moved the stitch marker so that's only gonna be 30 down. So remember, on the way down toward the end of the fin is chaining 2, coming to the next one is only gonna be 30 half double crochets on the horizontal bar. So this is considered 2 because that first chaining of 2 counted as 1. And let's start moving down. So this is gonna be 3, this is 4, and it's 5. Oops, this was gonna be 5. Now it's gonna be 5. Tension is a big deal on this particular stitch, just so that you're aware. I'm making it look harder than it was. So I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, continuing to go down. So I'm gonna go down for 30. This is gonna be 7 and 8, this is 9, and it's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, this is 15, 16, this is 17, 18, 19, 20. My camera angle that I always do is not really convenient for me, but it's more convenient for you to see. So 21, 22, 23, okay, we got 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, I know this is long, and 30. So 30 is right where the stitch marker is, so that I know I'm right. So if you want to count it to double check, then you can. So then once you're down and you've stopped, then you're 3 short, you can see it's starting to really take shape. Turn it around. This time you chain 2 and then half double crochet yourself back on the horizontal bar, going in the other direction. I'm gonna leave this with you now to complete the rest of this particular tail. The instructions are there. I did show you my notes of the stitch counts, which you can go back and just grab a screen copy if you want to. Just write it down if it makes it easier for you. And so when we come back, I'm gonna have this done, and then we're gonna sew it together, and then we're gonna carry on because we're literally almost done your mermaid tail once you get 2 pieces of these done, and then we put it together. So last time I left you, we were about here, and I worked my way back up to the top, and you can see it steps up just like so. This one I think is better than the original one that I started with, but I came to understand the pattern, and I think it makes a difference when you can do it twice run through. So I'm just gonna weave in this area here. I'm gonna do that later, but right now what we want to do is that we want to do a second one of this. So you're gonna do a second one, and then you're gonna meet me back here in just a moment, and I'm gonna show you how to attach them together, and then we're gonna attach it then to the sack itself. Okay, so I brought back my second one. I can take out any stitch markers that I've used. Those are good, those are gone. Don't ever worry about those again. So now what I want to do is that I want to attach it right here so that the outside looks like this. So you're thinking, wow, that looks pretty boxy. Remember that when you look at the sack area, back up at the top, it's only this wide. So all of these have to then compress into here, which gives you the look of the actual fin. So what we want to do is that we want to sew along this line, and I left an extra long strand on one. So what I'm gonna do is just grab my darning needle. I didn't say to do that, by the way, but if you did, great. I don't know what I'm thinking half the time, but usually I do leave an extra long one when I'm finishing a project anyway, so I left one on the other side too. So what I'm just gonna do is match the stitches across from each other with the whip stitch, just going into the original one here, and then just go into the same matching stitch on the other side, and I wanna pull through that. Now I actually showed you how to whip stitch already with the using that slip stitching technique with the slip knot. Do that if you have to fasten on new yarn. If not, you can just do exactly what I'm doing. So I'm just going to match the stitches across all the way down, and then I'm just gonna weave in my strand just like I showed you before with going back and forth 3 times in order to do this. So this will, even if this creates a slight ridge, you already have the ridges already appearing anyway, so it's really, it's kind of a extra technique, but I don't think it will. This technique can lay pretty flat. So continue just to whip stitch all the way to the end and then fasten that off, and then we're gonna come back and we're almost done. We're literally almost done this thing, and I literally started last night and I got 5 hours in last night and then a little bit today. So it hasn't been too much of a tough project generally. So let's get this done, and I'll see you back here in just a moment. So get this completely sewn across and weaved in, and weave in all the extra yarn tails at the same time. So now I'm back. I have it sewn together on both sides. You can see the ridging is on both sides, so it doesn't matter what side the child is wearing it on. So now what we have to do is that we have to kind of bunch up the top, and we have to do it strategically. So what we need to do is that we need to single crochet 20 stitches from here to here and 20 from here to here. And literally, if you're familiar with crochet, this 20 is way too big for this section. So therefore it's gonna start compressing in, and what you have to do is be strategic about this, and it's going to create the layers that it looks like in the model by doing so. Okay, so what we want to do is just grab our yarn, and we're gonna start in the one corner and work our way across. So my goal is, and I'm not gonna do this live on camera, but my goal is here, when you go in, you gotta make sure that you try to get it into like chain work. Don't ever try to get it into a space, because then you'll see it hanging from the sleep sack with spaces. So get it right into chain work. So coming into the first one, just put the straggler down on top of it so that it gets stuck underneath. So let's just join it with the slip stitch, chain 1, and single crochet into the same one. So in the first few, so somehow you got to be able just to kind of eye out maybe 20 here. Okay, you got to do 20, but just eye it out in some way. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 ridges. Okay, so if you look at that, so then if you went in between, so this is would give you 10, right? And then you just got to kind of look at it. So you almost got to just kind of work it out, and it's actually not that hard to do. So just working your way across the top, just get 20 in there. So I've already done 1. This is 2 and 3 and 4. And once you get enough of that in there, you can hide that straggler too. That was 4. So you got 5 is going into a chain, and just continue to go. So I'm already at 5 here, so 10 would be about there, and then at 15, and then 20, and then I continue again. So just don't fasten off, just continue to do the same thing going all the way across. Okay, so now I have my 20 on each side, and I'm ready to go. So again, it's much bigger than the sack that you have here. So what I recommend is that what we're gonna do is that we have to get all of this into just this little space. So grabbing some stitch markers, just some spare yarn, is I want to come into the middle one here. Just eye it up, you don't need a ruler, and just eye it up the middle section of your sleep sack. Okay, and pull that yarn through, and that'll help you stay in balance when you're going to sew this, because you kind of have to squash things. So I'm just going to just tie a little bow tie like that. So now what I want to do is that I want to do the same with the outside edges, and so just again just coming in to the outside edge here, And again, I just need it to hold it into position so I can figure out how to sew all that so that it's gonna stay relatively equal. Nothing's worse than, you know, getting this done and then realizing that your tail is out of balance. So just continue to do this. Okay, and then come back to the other side. And to the outside one here. And you can kind of see it's starting to look like that model of just like the nice tail feathers all ruffled, or tail feathers, the tail fin all looking all nice and ruffly. If you want to do any more of these, you can, if you need it to hold it into position, but it's really important. I did this for the shark as well, just to make sure that I got it right. And so this is what it's got to look like. So I have to kind of just bend things and fold things as I sew it to the end, and it will create these nice ruffling effects of that when I get it done. So you might just want to just kind of work things up. See these bends? See that? This is why you've gone in those ridges, to give you that ultimate look of being raised like that. And so when you squish them all together, as you can see the designer has thought about that, is that they kind of all fan and work perfectly and fit nice and perfect into that space like so. So now it's my goal to put these two together with the darning needle. Using the same technique that I did before, just a strand of yarn and slip knot, I want to start on one side and just continue to work my way across. I want to take my time. I've already shown you how to whip stitch, so all you're just gonna do here is just whip stitch it to the outside edge. I'm just gonna get rid of this one that's in the way. It helps just to get visualization, but don't take out the others until you get there. Okay, so I'm just gonna do this, come straight across, get to the outside. So look at the very base of it and just kind of come across, and then pull it mostly the way through. When you get close to that slip knot, just put the needle through the slip knot just like this, and that will lock it into position. So pull it nice and tight. Okay, and I'm gonna worry about this extra strand later. So just pull it everything nice and tight. And what I want you to do is look for the ridges. So where it's ridged, it can be popped up, because the other one is naturally wanting to pop down, and on the other side it looks identical as well. So just moving along, okay, just moving along the tail, just put them together with whip stitches like so. So my goal is I need to get all of this kind of equally sewn in before I get to the stitch marker in the middle. Therefore I know all of this fin is then equally on one side, and then do the same for the other. So I'm gonna leave this with you. Just kind of keep going and get this all sewn in. So that's it for today, my friends at Yarnspirations.com and myself, Mikey of the Crochet Crowd. We would like to thank you for joining us today in making My Little Mermaid Sleep and Snuggle Sack. It's been a pleasure to teach you today, and if you're looking for more free pattern and tutorial ideas, you can always count on us to keep the inspiration free and ideas flowing. Have an amazing day. Hope to see you back here real soon. Bye bye. We'll see you again.